Before we lay our Nintendo Switch to rest, we have to make sure we're ready to move on. Because they snuck this little bit into that reveal trailer. More on that later. With a sleek new unveiling, we got our first look at the Nintendo Switch 2, and potentially more importantly, we got our first look at the new Mario Kart. And I couldn't tell from a first glance. Are we in trouble? Is the design too predictable? We shall find out together, but since we've got a brand new tease for a Switch 2 game, what are future game announcements that would get you excited? That will probably be my next video, so comment below and maybe your game announcement would fit in. Let's start with Mario Kart. Are we in trouble? Honestly, no. Switch has never been about powerhouse graphics, but I noticed the redesign of Mario, and then it started to click for me that, oh, I was watching footage of a new Mario Kart. And when you zoom in on the Donk, the good old DK, you really know this is a new game. That first blush did get me a little bit worried for marketing in the future to parents. My older brother also didn't know if this was a new Mario Kart that he was watching. I mean, he's old, so there is that. But I've looked back at the trailer. There is a lot more openness to the spaces that we see Mario and friends driving through, and the draw distance seems to be quite a bit further. So that's just those little bit of things. Plus, again, this is a YouTube video. Video's almost kind of off screen. They're not really showing you much. So I would not worry too much. So let's dive into what we think is exciting. It's a freaking new Mario Kart. Of course I'm going to be excited. I love 8, and I'm just really excited to see new tracks like this one we get. And just the slow unveil of just being in something new. I'm just ready to play it. The new content for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has me ready for another new experience. We got so much with that game much later than I thought we would, so totally ready for it. People have pointed out that there are 24 racer spots. I'm not sure that means exactly we're going to get 24 players. That would be insane. There wasn't that many racers, though, in the trailer, so I don't know if that's to make us speculate or if it's just a little tease. I have no idea. If we are getting 24 racers every single race for these Grand Prix, that means the roster has to be pretty dang big, which could be leaning into more of a Smash Bros. Style roster, but I hope not. Now, hear me out. I think you have to stretch the creativity if you keep it into the Mario universe. As much as I love the inclusion of Link in Hyrule's Castle, it's just that safe to me. Of course, when they add F-Zero content, it's going to be Mute City. I knew that, and that's what we got. Now, I get it because there's always a Bowser's Castle, always a Rainbow Road, which are freaking awesome, but there's still some surprise in how they're going to twist that to be new. I'd rather leave the big gold crossovers to Super Smash Bros., but even still, I won't be mad if this is actually what it ends up being. Just wouldn't be my first choice. Yoshi's sign here is just awesome. Yoshi in a burger roof, what's more to love? Plus, oncoming traffic looks like good old Toad's Turnpike. Embrace the chaos, I love it. And the more and more you look at this design, it kind of looks like the carts are different, and maybe there's some new mechanic baked into the carts themselves. Maybe you're grabbing fuel, maybe you're stopping for power-ups. Whether that is only on this map specifically, I'm not sure, but I'm intrigued to find out. Are you excited for the new Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart 10, whatever they're going to call it? Let me know below. And let's go on to the other big point. Switch 2, is it boring? Or is it exactly what we need? This is what I wanted, so this is exactly what I needed. A bigger, beefier, and I guess more sleek-looking Switch. Yes, Super Switch would have been a cool name, but if PlayStation has been doing the numeral game for a while, I think Nintendo can make it work. You would think this would make the marketing very easy, but I think they're still going to have a little bit of an upward battle when it comes to this. One coworker even said, well, this is just the Switch XL. I'm like, God, not exactly, but we'll get there. This is the sequel to the Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2. Is it boring? To me, no. I'm excited that they're actually sticking with the routine. I love the Switch. The novelty of it being a portable and a home console really works with my lifestyle especially. So I'm very happy they decided to at least stick with this concept for at least one more generation. I think this design overall is geared towards more adults. I do still like the accent of colors. It also makes me think about future colors and how they'll pop up on this new device. Really like this, especially when the Joy-Cons are detached and the sides where they are housed have that color pop. It's just a very pleasing design choice to me. Having the Joy-Cons themselves be a little bit thicker is cool too. I think that will help with the criticism of holding a single Joy-Con for certain games or multiplayer. A big variable is them showing those Joy-Cons slide across the floor. Is it going to be used like a mouse? I just don't know how that's going to be applicable to somebody who's using it like detached from their Switch when it's docked on their TV. I could see it portably on a desk, but it seems like a very specific use, and I'm very curious how that's all going to work out. It's probably a new gimmick, and they'll probably force it into a lot of games, and whether I'll like that or not is to be determined. The bezels on the screen when Mario Kart is shown on it are definitely chunky like the OG Switch, which kind of makes me lean towards this being an LCD, not OLED, but I'm not sure on that. Would I prefer smaller bezels? Yes. Do I notice that when playing games? Barely. If you are noticing that playing games, maybe you should switch up the game because you're not very involved in it. Speaking of games and being involved, what's up with that little disclaimer? Certain Nintendo Switch games might not be supported or fully compatible. Those are two different things in my head, so how can you not have a fully compatible game? Certain games I bought digitally will work, but not the physical, or is this a throwback to N64? And if you didn't have the expansion pack, well, Perfect Dark's content would be a little bit lackluster. It's just a strange way to phrase it that should get me a little bit worried, but I took a step back after initially watching this trailer. I'm like, you know what this actually probably is? It's probably just your Labo, probably your Ring Fit adventure. I don't think it's going to be many games. And maybe it's going to be, in my 100+ physical collection of games, maybe it's going to be some weird, obscure game from a small printing that I ordered and it might not work. Hopefully I don't eat my words, but I think this is going to be a very much a nothing burger when it comes to it. And we will know more April 2nd for the Nintendo Switch Direct, which of course I will be reacting to because I have to. It's so exciting. The first Direct about the new Nintendo Switch 2 console. I mean, you can't get more exciting than that. Yeah, I don't even know what they could announce, and that's exciting. I've definitely seen many different reactions to the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement. A lot of lack of fanfare because of all the leaks and such. I'm not too worried about that myself because at the end of the day, yes, the console is very special with this hybrid thing, which a lot of new PC-likes have been doing, Steam Deck included. But it's about the games for me. It's always been about the games for Nintendo. Am I really excited to see what the box looks like, what the game cases look like? Absolutely. But I'm here about the games, the must-play Nintendo Switch 2 games, and I know I'm going to be eating good. There's just excitement on the horizon, and that just makes me so freaking happy. So it's going to be a great time for gaming, so stick around and we'll share in that excitement together. Until the next video, don't lay your Switch to rest just yet. Xenoblade Chronicles X calls.